All right, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yashamai from the GMS Atlanta camp. Before I get into this message, all praises, all glory, and all honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom rule and teach well, whom are the true leaders of the Hebrew Israelite reawakening, man. Those whom the Most High has used as vessels to call his elect first and foremost back into the remembrance of who they are, man. I wanted to do this in transit message on the Edomites because when you read Obadiah 1, verse 18, it says, "In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has spoken." And see, this the topic of this message, man, is going into the fact that Esau Edom is still here on this earth, man. All right, and Esau Edom, according to Obadiah, right, all scripture is inspired by the Most High. Well, this is inspired by the Most High. Obadiah is prophesying that Esau is going to be the stubble, and Jacob and Joseph are going to be the flame who end this group of people. Now we know Esau, Edom, to be the self-proclaimed whites, and I say self-proclaimed whites because they themselves have named themselves the white people, when in fact they are not white, man. They are red, man, and we're gonna get into that. But I want to pull up. I want to pull up Matthew 2. I think I got it. Matthew 2 right here, because see, a lot of scoffers will say that the Edomites have been done away with, and that basically if the Edomites have been done away with, then like who is in charge of the world now? Because as we're going to get into, uh, uh, somebody was let loose to rule this entire world, man. See, the scoffers will try and say that John Hyrcanus slayed all of the Edomites. Yeah, but when you follow that timeline, John Hyrcanus was after the Maccabees, but before Yahushai, right? So if John Hyrcanus slayed all of the Edomites, then how would you have Herod? Because according to Scripture, Herod was an Edomite. All right, let's get Matthew 2, verse 1. Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Now, when you go into his name, Herod here, and some water for the patients, by the way. I'm doing a in transit lesson. I'm currently on the way somewhere here. All right, I must have missed my turn. That's all right. It says the name of the royal family that flourished among the Jews in the times of Hamashiach and the apostles. Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea. So his father was an Edomite. So if John Hyrcanus slayed all of the Edomites, then how was Herod born? It doesn't make sense, man. Even Google itself will tell you that. Let's get it. I gotta pull over right here. Let's just do Herod. Herod the Edomite right here. Herod the Great, also known as Herod the Edomite, was a Roman appointed king of Judea, ruling from 37 to 4 BC. He was not originally of Edomite descent, but was the son of Antipater of Idumea, a Edomite descendant. So it contradicts itself, because it says he's not of Edomite descent, but then it goes on to tell you that his father was an Idumean, right? Which are the Edomites. Okay, so let's go down to Wikipedia and let's get his family tree. Well, not his family tree, but let's see who his father was. It says right here, father is Antipater the Idumean. And what does Scripture say? Where does the seed come from? Let's get Numbers 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upwards by their posts. But the point here is that the seed comes from the father. That's why it says right here, they declared their pedigrees by the house of their fathers, man. The seed comes from the father. So I say all of that to say this. If John Hyrcanus did away with the Edomites, then how did Herod show up on the scene if his father was an Edomite? And and the seed comes from the father. It doesn't make sense. See, these scoffers want to try to say that Edom is done away with. See, uh, uh, why is that though? Because Scripture, Scripture tells you that Esau is going to be destroyed. We just read that in Obadiah 1:18. See, but they don't want that. See, those that call themselves Democrats, they want justice against Trump. Those that call themselves the Republicans, they want justice against Biden, right? For their crimes, right? But see, nobody wants justice for against Esau Edom, man, and that's the biggest criminal, man. See, everybody wants justice, but nobody wants justice, man. Let's get Ecclesiastes 4 verse 16, because even Scripture tells you there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. The point is at the beginning, there is no end of all the people, man. Just as the Israelites are still here to this day, just as the Elamites are still here to this day, just as the Persians are still here to this day, just as the Moabites are still here to this day, the Edomites are still here to this day, and there is no end of all the people. So how can these scoffers come out and say that the Edomites are done away with? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense scripturally, and it doesn't make sense according to the timeline, man. Esau Edom is that red horse mentioned in Revelation 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, so we know this red horse to be Esau Edom, right? Because ever since he got on the scene, um, he's been taking peace from the earth, man. And see, these things have to be showed unto you. This is Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. I bring that up because that's the red horse, man. It's that same red horse, and power was given to him that sat there on to take peace from the earth. How was power given unto him? Let's go on to Genesis 27. And and Isaac answered, Isaac his father said, right here, Genesis 27, verse 38. And Esau, that same red horse, Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So that's when the power was given to him to take peace from the earth. He got the blessing. He got the blessing of the sword. And I mean, it's a perfect parallel between Genesis in Revelation 6 and 4 and Genesis 27, 38, and 39, because we see the power given unto him, and it says in verse 40, and by thy sword thou shalt live, because look, and there was given unto him a great sword. Who has the biggest weaponry in the world right now? America. There's an interview that Trump did where he's bragging and he's telling the news people, he's saying that America has the best weapons. We've got weapons that you couldn't believe. So that's their tongues falling upon themselves, man. Because see, that's one of the descriptive descriptions of Esau, that he would live by his sword, and that a great sword was given unto him, man. And that's Trump telling you that, hey, we got the biggest sword, we got weapons, and we know it because that's your blessing. See, you are the rich man who's lived good here, according to Luke 16, and we are that poor man, all right? But there's coming a time, man, where the roles are going to be changed, man. I think I had one more in here. Um, yeah, let's get Jeremiah 1 verse 9 too. I had that pulled up too because see, people get scared, man. You know when people hear us talking about Esau Edom going into captivity, they think we're crazy, but we're not crazy. We're just telling you what the scripture says. Jeremiah 1 verse 9. Then the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See, when the Most High put his words into the prophet Jeremiah, and Jeremiah started prophesying death and captivity, those were the words of the Most High. And the Most High has done that once again. See, we didn't have the words of the Most High in our mouth. We didn't have the Spirit on us for 350 years. But in 1969, starting with the beloved Abba Bibbins, man, the word came back into the Israelites, starting with Judah, because Scripture says the scepter shall not depart from Judah, right? But the Spirit came back, and that was when the Most High put forth His hand. And now, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. When we say that Esau Edom is going into captivity, man, that's not us saying it. That's the Most High's word saying it, man. So if you don't like what we're saying, then you don't like the words of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, because see, these people have to go into captivity, man. Esau Edom is still here. Let's get Isaiah 14, and then I'm gonna close with that. Well, Isaiah 14, verse 1 and 2, it says, For the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. So this is talking about the northern and the southern kingdom and set them in their own land. And that's exactly what's going to happen after this destruction, after that land of Israel is cleansed from all of those parades, from all of the debauchery over there. The Most High is going to put us back on our land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Those strangers are going to the Israelite foreigners. All right, because everybody's going to come back into the understanding of who they are, and they're going to cleave unto the house of Jacob. Let's get that word cleave, man. Let's get that word cleave. I didn't want this to be a long message. Sapa, sapa, to join, to attach, to join together, to attach to oneself, to be joined together, to hold oneself together. All the tribes are going to come back together, man, and they're going to cleave unto their heritage, man. Verse 2, this is the point. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So Esau Edom is still here, and Esau Edom has been our oppressor. All right. It says they shall take them captives whose captives they were, man. When you go into Psalms 149, it talks about us putting their nobles in fetters of iron, man, because that's what y'all have done. You know, y'all had us in slavery, man. Y'all, you guys had you segregated the white only fountain and the black only fountain, man. The bathrooms. There was what celebrity was that was on YouTube? He said that his mom in the 50s or 40s had a toothache and she couldn't even go to the dentist. She had to go to a veterinarian, man, and then she had to go to the veterinarian's office and come in through the back door. She was lower than a dog, man. White dog owners didn't want to have a veterinarian working on their dog if they worked on a so-called black person, man. That's how fucked up things were, man. And that's why it says they shall take them captives whose captives they were, man. You got a price to pay. Again, everybody wants justice for their own agenda, but nobody wants justice for the biggest criminal. Revelation 6 and verse 4. And there went out, oh no, Salakia. Revelation 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That lines up perfect with Isaiah 14, verse 2. And who led the Israelites into captivity? All right, who led the transatlantic slave trade, man? Who owned the ships? Who led Gad through the trail of tears and stole their land, man. Who did that? It was one group of people who went into the land of Mexico and slayed the so-called Issacharites, man. Who did that? One group of people, Esau, Edom, man. That's the red horse, man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And he's still doing that to this day, man. Through his biological weapons, through his direct energy weapons. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what we're praying for, man. This is what we're praying for this bastard to finally get taken out, man. So look, Esau Edom is not done away with, man. All right? Herod was still on the scene. Ecclesiastes 4 tells you that there's no end of the people. Esau Edom is still here to this day, and his characteristics are of that great sword, which Trump was just boasting about, man. And those people are going into captivity. So hopefully this lesson has been edifying. And until the next one, shalom.